Hey guys, we are back. I'm James Haskell here with my confidant and co-host Glenn Martin. That's right. As the draft has wound up, is now winding up, winding down, I guess, not winding up. We have made some late waves. The Ravens moved up into the sixth round. They made a deal with the Minnesota Vikings, and I'll give you the details of the trade. So in the sixth round, the Ravens obtained the 201st, the number 201 pick and 219 pick. So that's what we got from the Vikings. In return, we gave them the 225th pick, which is a 7 this year, and a 5th round pick in 2021. So we got 2 6s for a 7 and a future 5th. And what we did with that first pick, Glenn, why don't you tell them who we got? Because I know you're really excited about him.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped to be able to add this guy in the 6th round. It's wide receiver James Proche out of SMU. And let me just say this: SMU's got a pretty good history building of wide receivers. If you look up their history here lately with Emmanuel Sanders and Cortland Sutton and Proche now, and there's at least 2 other guys that I can't think of off the top of my head. But he's 5'11", 201 pounds. He didn't run at the combine. He did have 20 reps on the bench. He did some other drills and stuff like that. The thing that I love about him, that I heard the same thing about Duvernay. I heard a few similarities that I just want to talk about. One of which is ultra competitive. Him and Duvernay, ultra competitive. Which I think if you don't have a competitive streak, when you come to the NFL, if you don't have early and immediate success, it can shake your confidence. So if you have a guy who's ultra competitive, and it looks like we got 2 of them, that's just going to help them be able to develop, I think, quicker into the NFL if there's not immediate success, which sometimes there's not a wide receiver. Sometimes it can be a tough position to kind of translate. Another thing that I see both between Duvernay as well as Proche is that they just don't drop the ball. Both of them had over 100 catches this past season. Duvernay had 1 drop that the coaches on the Ravens said they didn't see a drop. And Proche had apparently 3 drops, but over 100 catches. And the thing about his catches is he'll put up the highlight reel. Proche will make those catches that are going on Bleacher Report's highlights and ESPN's top 10. And he plays a lot. Both of them play a lot bigger and more physical than their measurables, than their size. They're both tough to bring down after they get the ball in their hands. So you can see a lot of similarities. Now, what he doesn't have is the elite speed that Duvernay has. He doesn't have the elite speed, elite quickness. He's average at a lot of those areas. But, man, the guy's got incredible hands, elite ball tracking ability, body control. And, man, if he can polish out his route running, he could be a real threat in this Ravens offense.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just like you said, I was reading up on him, and one of the quotes he said here is, referring to his route running, needs to refine his route running, but is a highly determined receiver with above average ball skills. So you talked about his doing damage in the slot, and I think that's going to be important in this offense. Lamar, I think, is one of the best at throwing up the seam, throwing through different levels of defense. I won't sit here and say Lamar is the best at throwing outside the numbers, but when he's worked, he is really good at his visibility in multi-level, in a number of levels of defense is good. It is, extremely elite. I think that's a safe thing to say. And so having another option that doesn't drop the ball, that can work the middle of the field, that can be shifty and get open and is ultra competitive, like you said, it's interesting because, it could have just been how it's shaken out as far as the draft goes. But if you look at all our receivers, none of them are tall, like our most recent ones anyway. So we got Hollywood, Duvernay, and then Proche. There you go. I'll get used to that name one day. But they're all smaller but extremely shifty. Elite 2 out of the 3 have great speed. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, Boykin can still be that big guy we're hoping. But I'm excited about it. On CBS they graded it an A.
It's been given great grades all around. And you mentioned that they're not big. And look, I wanted them to add size just as much as the next guy, but both these guys play big. And I tell you what, if they see one-on-one coverage on the outside with either one of these guys, they're going to be confident to throw the ball up because they win the 50-50 contested balls because while they may not be tall, they do two things very well. They track the ball exceptionally well, and they have the focus to go high point and attack the ball when it's at the, in the air. So some guys, you can't teach that tracking ability, I don't think. I think DBs suffer from that, the inability to track the deep ball, and it knocks a lot of these incredible athletic DBs out because they just can't track the ball. I don't know if that's teachable. I mean, maybe you can work on it, but some of that's just natural, and I think these guys have that ability, and Hollywood has it as well. I mean, Hollywood is a great example of the ability to track the ball in the air, accompanied with exceptional hands, which all three of these guys have those abilities. So, I'm excited about him. I think he plays a lot bigger than his size. And also, let's not forget this. He's a good option as a punt returner and kick returner because he's got those secure hands and he's done it. Maybe not as a returner that's going to bring it back for a touchdown, but he'll secure the ball. So that's what we really want from a punt returner.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's it for us on this one. But keep watching. We're going to keep breaking down the rest of this draft class and then break it down as a whole. So keep on watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button.